I need rest. I need a lot of rest. If I sit here obsessing over all of the things that I'm not doing, then I'm not actually resting. Self-care at its core is all the boring stuff. Sometimes rest is the most productive thing you can do. I should be able to just rest and not feel guilty or stressed. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. Welcome if you're new here. Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm a full-time university writing instructor, currently on spring break, and a part-time content creator and indie author. Welcome back if you're one of my lovely returning friends. It is great to have you all here. Welcome to spring break. It's Wednesday, so we're halfway through spring break, and spring break has not gone how I thought it would. It's not quite gone to plan. It's been good. I don't want to make it sound worse. I don't want to make it sound bad or anything. It's been good. It's just been very unproductive. Which I guess is what I need. I thought I was going to get my Scrivener read through done this week. I was imagining relaxing, working on my laptop at a coffee shop type vibes, maybe doing some shopping or something. I was picturing a completely different scenario for spring break, and it just has not happened. I've been over to my parents' house twice. I spent all day Sunday at the house, and then I went there yesterday for about a half day. That's been lovely. Great time with mom and dad and the dogs. Spending so much time with Kiki, as much time with her as possible. I will vlog over there soon, I hope. I will try. She is settling in so well. She is such a snuggler. Both days that I went over this week, I laid on the couch with her literally on my chest for at least an hour and a half, if not 2 hours or more. She's such a sweetheart, and she loves cuddles and snuggles, and she wants to be on top of you. The fact that Kiki just loves to snuggle like that just makes me so happy. So spring break has been good so far in that respect. I've had time with my family. I've spent time just laying on my couch watching Netflix and watching YouTube and reading. We've also been having amazing weather. It rained last night, which I know for so many of you is such a non-issue. It happens all the time. I live in Phoenix, if you're new. We do not get much rain, and we have not had much rain for almost all of 2024. We had next to no rain, and it was looking like we were just going to keep going that way, and then we actually have gotten some rain. And I can even see, I'm at the park, in case you're wondering why I'm in the car. Of course, we're going hiking. Well, we're not going hiking. We're going for a walk. I have no energy, but I can see from my car, there's no wildflowers, but we are starting to get some green. So we're going to be on the hunt for things that are growing, fresh growth. We're going to be on the hunt for when we go out for this little walk. I need to run some errands, and it's super, super cloudy. It might rain in an hour or so. I have zero energy for a proper hike today. I just basically, and I think this is going to be the focus of this vlog, I just clearly need a lot of self-care this week. And not the fun, exciting, glamorous self-care, not the bubble baths and the face masks, although I do kind of need a face mask, I won't lie. But not the, coffee shop dates and stuff. That sleeping, eating properly, drinking a lot of water, sleeping some more, going for some walks. I have been for some hikes, but not, again, I thought I was going to go on all these really long, amazing hikes and explore parts of the trail that I haven't seen yet this season, and do the hikes that I haven't been able to do so far this season. None of that is happening. None of that is happening. So today I have a couple errands I need to run, and then I really just want to collapse on the couch and do some more reading. I need to publish a vlog today. There are other things I would like to do. I don't think I'm going to do them. So I don't know how exciting this vlog is, but I thought we could talk a little bit about the importance of true self-care and the importance of rest. I feel like spring break, anyone who works in academia or students, I think I talk to my students about this a lot. And when I was a student, it was the same way. Spring break, you build up in your head as like, this is my time to do all the things I haven't had time to do during the first half of the semester. And the older I am getting and the more experience I'm getting as a teacher, the more I'm realizing spring break needs to be a time of just completely shutting down. I need rest. I need a lot of rest. So I want to go for this walk, get some fresh air, enjoy the beautiful clouds, and then go run my errands, and then get home and just truly relax for the rest of the day. Just do some reading, watch some TV, make some yummy food for myself throughout the day, get a nice cup of coffee either out during my errands or make one when I get home. But just like, I need rest. I've been struggling to vlog all week so far because I feel like you can't vlog a day you're doing nothing. And every day I've just been doing nothing. So we're just gonna vlog it. We're gonna vlog a day where I do nothing but rest during spring break. Starting with a very slow, I'm not even gonna do a full mile. I'll be lucky if I do a half a mile. I'm gonna go very slow and I'm not gonna go far. I'm just gonna enjoy this amazing weather. It's my favorite weather, and just have a nice bit of outdoor time before we go home and continue resting and doing nothing. So I apologize in advance if this is a very boring vlog. I'm not doing a good job, I think, of selling you on this to make you keep watching, but please keep watching and just hang out with me. I hope you're doing nothing but watching this vlog and relaxing, and we can just truly relax and rest for a bit together today. Okay, it is 11:15. I am home. I am this is as good as it's gonna get. I'm freshened up, I'm cozy, I'm in maximum coziness. I've got a battered old pair of jogging bottoms and my beloved old Oxford hoodie from, this is 11 years old. This is almost 11 years old. Bought this the summer of 2014 when I was doing study abroad with my university. That was when I did the official study abroad program through my university during my PhD. I then went back the second summer and essentially did an independent study abroad. I just found my own accommodations and I lived in Oxford for 3 months, and it was, those 2 summers were 2 of the most amazing and transformative summers of my entire life. I honestly should probably do a video talking about those 2 summers. I don't have any vlog footage because that was before I started vlogging. I didn't start YouTube until 2016. and I didn't start vlogging until later. Like I started in April of 2016, but I didn't start vlogging until later, like that summer or autumn of 2016. I didn't do vlogs right away because I didn't think anyone would watch them, which is really funny considering now vlogs are the main thing I do. And I think the vlogs are the thing that the majority of you love the most. I will still do like sit down chatty videos and stuff, and I do enjoy those, and I'm starting to enjoy doing them again. So like I do think they're going to start becoming not the majority content again on this channel. They used to be the majority content. I think the vlogs will always be the majority, but I do think for where my brain is right now, sit down chatty videos are probably going to become slightly more regular again. I just want like kind of like what I'm doing right now. So like just me with a cup of coffee just chatting to you, but just without all the b-roll and stuff like that, and just like one topic for the whole vlog, because I like this. This feels good. This feels safe. Could the rest of this vlog turn into a coffee chat? No, I'm gonna vlog properly today, but I am struggling with vlogging at the moment, and this is one reason why it's Wednesday and I've been on spring break since Friday. There have been 4 days that I could have vlogged and that I thought I would vlog, and I haven't. Spring break has just been really weird this year. And I am so profoundly grateful that we get spring break, because there was a year where we didn't. I think it was spring break of 21. That was the year where I realized just how much my brain and my body desperately needs spring break, because I'd been a student and an educator for years at that point. Like I'd been teaching full-time for 2 years. I'd been teaching part-time for 7 years, 9 if you include the couple of years I taught outside of the university during my master's degree when I was teaching at the community colleges. And then I'd been a student for more years than I can count. So like I'm used to having spring break. I'm used to having a week off somewhere in March every year. And so the year we didn't get that, that was painful. That was hard. And that was when I started to really realize like I need spring break. When you work in education, we need that week. It's not really a week off. It truly is, this year in particular, it's a week to just shut down. And I have just needed to shut down. And so I had all these grand plans. I was gonna go sit in a coffee shop at Scottsdale Quarter and read a book or work on my book, do some writing in the next project, the one after the one I'm currently editing. I was going to finish my Scrivener read through so that next week I can start like proper developmental editing. I wanted to go down to Changing Hands bookstore and have a bookshop date by myself or meet a friend. I didn't know what, but like I wanted to do that. All these things. I was going to clean my apartment. I was going to do tons of laundry. I was going to do like a good deep clean, spring clean. I need to vacuum. I need to dust everything, wash the windows, put up all the spring decor, all these things I was going to do. I've done like 5% of what was on my list. I've done some laundry. I have washed my windows because I've put up some spring floral decals in my windows. I've done dishes and, you know, little things like that. I can kind of see it here. I have swapped over the bedding on my bed. So I've put my spring duvet cover and pillowcases and swapped out all of that. I've switched out the pillows, the throw cushions. I've got these ones back on the couch. So like my couch is kind of set up for spring now. But like my winter garland is still over the fireplace. So like I've done some stuff, but not other stuff. I've not done any editing. The only editing I've done has been vlog editing. I've not done any vlogging until today. So I'm not doing things. I'm not running any of the errands. I'm not having any of my little outings that I was hoping for, that are just really hard to make time for during the week, during, you know, when I'm actively teaching. And then by the weekends, I don't have any energy. So I really thought spring break was going to be it. And instead, this spring break has just turned into me just being a complete sloth. Laying on the couch, watching Netflix, watching YouTube, or laying on my mom's couch. We watched a Hallmark Channel movie the other day, and we've watched a few episodes of Escape to the Country and House Hunters International, and like, I knew that that was going to happen. So I guess I can say that's something else that I have done, even though it's kind of doing nothing. But yeah, I have decided I'm not going to do any book editing. I'm not working on the Scrivener read through. If I feel like doing it one day in the next few days, because I've got 4 days after today that are left. So if I feel like doing some Scrivener read through work, I will, but if I don't, I won't. I still need to keep up with the vlog editing, so I will start editing this vlog tomorrow. I do want to put up my spring decor, so that will happen hopefully tomorrow. But like, I was gonna do that on Saturday 4 days ago, and I had no energy. And that's the thing, I have no energy. I'm going to sleep at like 9 p.m. I'm waking up at 5:30. I'm in bed for more than 8 hours. I'm getting a decent amount of sleep, but I just wake up and it's not the same exhaustion from not getting any sleep. It's just, I have no energy and no motivation. My brain knows I'm on spring break. It knows that I have nothing I have to do. I was going to do my taxes this week. That's also not happening. My brain knows there's nothing that absolutely categorically must be done this week, other than vlog editing and filming vlogs for next week. That's really it. It's just this feeling in my body that is just like, the only thing you should be doing is resting right now. And so it just makes it hard to dig up motivation and willpower to actually do stuff, because I know I don't have to. And I know that next week there will be things that have to get done, and I won't be able to just lay on the couch and binge a Netflix series or read a book like this cover to cover. So yeah, it's just, this is my week to lay around doing nothing and just relaxing and enjoying that. So I'm just, I give in. I give up, I give in, I'm letting go. My word of the year, release. I'm releasing all of the pressure of having a productive spring break, and I'm just letting it go, and I'm just letting myself relax. Because I know if I don't just relax, if I sit here obsessing over all of the things that I'm not doing, then I'm not actually resting. And I'm not actually getting the benefit of resting. So I'm just gonna relax. I'm like I said, I'm just giving in. I'm giving up and giving in, and I'm just letting myself enjoy it, because this is my one chance until summer break to truly just do nothing. And even in summer break, I don't take 3 months off to just lay on the couch and watch Netflix. I'll give myself probably a week or two to do what I've been doing this week, and then I've got to work on all of my summer projects. So like, the summer's gonna be busy. But I need to get through the next several weeks before I can start enjoying a little bit easier of a schedule for the summer. So if I'm going to get through the next several weeks, I need to just really give in to relaxing this week. So that's what I'm gonna do. I do want to do some more reading in this book because I'm really enjoying it, and I am about halfway through. It's kind of sunny, kind of cloudy. You've probably noticed it with the lighting. So I had closed the blinds, but I think I'm gonna open them up and open the door up again, because if it's getting cloudy again, then I'd like to have some more of the cool, fresh air coming in. It's just such a beautiful day today. We'll talk about that later probably, or not. I don't need to talk about the weather in every vlog. I'm gonna get on with enjoying my relaxing spring break and not feeling guilty about just doing nothing and relaxing. It's such a beautiful day. It's actually managed to stay a little bit cloudy, and like the clouds are just so beautiful. They're just big and puffy and low, and there's just a really lovely cool breeze coming in, so that's really nice. I am still watching Netflix, but I would like to make myself a sandwich. I watched one episode of, what was it? Formula One, Drive to Survive, the docuseries, not an actual Grand Prix race itself. Now I am watching a drama called Fool Me Once, which came out last year, and I started watching it last year, and I don't know, it's good, it's just, it wasn't quite what I was hoping, and the pacing of it has just always felt a little bit off, because like I've been able to stop watching it and not come back to it. Like I don't feel like I have to keep watching, but I hate not finishing a series unless it's just really, really bad. And that's the thing, it's not bad, it's just not holding my attention, and I don't know if that's actually a problem with the series or if it's just how my brain is. So I just kind of feel like the problem might be me and not the show. So I want to keep watching, and just then I'll know I finished it. But in a tiny bit of productivity, I have managed to finally get TurboTax downloaded to my computer. So I bought it yesterday. I bought the one for 2024 for the taxes I'm doing. I bought that yesterday, and then was wondering why it wasn't arriving as quickly as it has the last 2 years. Turns out it, anyway, it was a thing. I'm not gonna get into it, but I have it downloaded now. It's all good. I got that downloaded and installed, and I'm logged in, so I'm not doing my taxes today, but when I am ready to do my taxes, I will be able to do them, basically. But yeah, it is 12:44, and I just need to make myself something for lunch. Like I just need to have lunch. So I'm going with my current favorite go-to lunch idea. Ignore my toaster oven because it is heated up already. Yeah, I'm doing a toasted cheese sandwich. My new favorite, 3-cheese toasted sandwich, which is basically a grilled cheese sandwich. I just toast it in the toaster oven. I like my version because it's super easy. It takes very little time and next to no effort. And because I don't use butter and I'm not cooking it in a skillet, it is slightly better, like healthier. I wouldn't call it healthy, but it, yeah, doesn't have all the butter. So in case you were wondering, it's just 2 slices of bread and then my cheese, and then I just pop it in the toaster oven and toast it for 8 minutes. Literally the only effort is slicing the cheese and putting it on there. And I use a mix of Jarlsberg, Norwegian Jarlsberg cheese, English cheddar cheese, and American Tillamook extra sharp. So 2 different types of cheddar, one that's American, one that's British, but both are like the English cheddar is a rugged, mature English cheddar, and then the extra sharp cheddar. And then that with the Jarlsberg, like these 3, oh, so good. And then it just toasts in the toaster oven, like literally. Gonna toast in there for about 8 minutes. And then it is just so good when it comes out. It's nice and crispy, but it's not like greasy because I'm not using the butter on both sides of the toast or the bread like you normally would. But yeah, I'm really enjoying a quiet day. Continuing on what I was saying earlier, I'm just realizing I really am needing these days. We talk a lot about self-care, but this is something I've thought about doing a whole video on this, but I probably don't need to do a whole like long sit down chatty video on this. This vlog is probably enough. But what we typically think of as self-care is really actually self-soothing. And there's a difference. And I didn't know this for the longest time. And I kept wondering, like, why the face masks and the long hot showers and the treating myself to things and doing my nails and like all these things that get labeled as self-care. Like, why wasn't that making me feel better? Why was I still feeling exhausted and burned out? It's because those aren't actually self-care. Those are self-soothing. Self-care at its core is all the boring stuff. I think I said that earlier in this vlog. It's getting enough sleep. It's getting enough food to eat during the day. It's feeding your body properly throughout the day. It's drinking enough water and making sure that you're properly hydrated. Getting some movement in the day, even if it's yoga or just a very slow stroll around your neighborhood, but getting up and moving your body and not staying crashed on the couch the entire day. Like, these things are, that's what self-care is. It's all the boring stuff. But it's all the really, really important stuff that if you're not sleeping enough, and if you're not eating properly, and if you're not hydrating yourself properly, and if you're not getting up and off your couch or away from your desk and away from your computer, and like you're not getting up and like moving somehow, and it doesn't have to be really intense exercise, it's just gentle movement is enough, but getting up and stretching your legs and moving somehow, if you're not doing those things, no amount of playing video games or doing a face mask or taking a bubble bath or things like that is going to be enough. You know, a bubble bath doesn't replace the fact that you might not be sleeping enough, and if you're not getting enough sleep at night, it doesn't really matter what else you do. Like, our bodies need proper care. And so when I first heard the distinction between self-care and self-soothing, it just kind of flipped a switch in my brain. It just made so much sense. And it started to make it easier for me to understand why things that I was doing in the name of self-care weren't feeling like they were working and weren't feeling like they were actually doing anything for me or my brain or my body. And so it's been a few years now since I heard that distinction, and that I've been trying to really pay attention to that. And it's why I am trying to move and exercise in some way every day. Some days going grocery shopping, that's my exercise. Other days going for a 3-mile hike is my exercise. But every day I am closing all 3 rings on my Apple Watch. I set them at a fairly low realistic amount, like the different categories. It's not a like high pressure goal I've got to meet, but every day I can do enough activity to close those rings and to know that I've done something. And I would say 5 to 6 days a week I'm doing something a little bit more intense, but then 1 to 2 days are always a little bit easier, and that's fine. That's enough for me, and that's really made a difference in how I feel, and it's helped my fibromyalgia, it's helped my anxiety and depression. Like, these things are all not great, but I shudder to think how much worse they would be if I wasn't as active as I have become over the last 3.5, 4-ish years. Late 2021 was when I kind of made the changes. Eating enough, making sure that I'm getting breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then if needed, a snack somewhere in the afternoon, depending on when I eat the meals. Drinking enough. It's why I always have one of my tumblers. This is not the one I'm using today because I bought a new one. So the new one is over by my chair, by my couch, and it's always topped up. Sleeping. It's why I have worked so hard since not quite this time. I think this time last year might have been when I started making the changes and to my sleep schedule and started trying to go to sleep a little bit earlier consistently. And so I wasn't waking up at 5:30 in the morning this time last year, but I was starting to try to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier. And now, about a year later, I am waking up at about 5:30. My alarm starts going off before 5:30, but 5:30 is when I try to get up and get out of bed. And then I'm trying to go to bed by around 9 p.m. Sometimes it's 9:10 or 9:15. Sometimes it's as late as 9:30. Occasionally I'll be up until like 9:45, almost 10 o'clock. But those days are becoming a lot less frequent, which is good because that's way too late for waking up at 5:30. And even though I'm not getting 8 hours of sleep every night, my deep sleep and my quality sleep are the best they've been prior to getting on a pretty strict schedule. I'm feeling fairly rested even if my total sleep isn't 8 hours, which is optimum for me. Like 8 to 9 hours for total sleep is best. But if I'm at least in bed, lights out, eyes closed for 8 hours, which if I get to bed by 9:30, then I am 8 hours in bed, eyes closed by the time I wake up at 5:30. So having at least 8 hours of being in bed, lights out, eyes closed, just not looking at anything, not doing anything, that's enough. And 7 hours of total sleep, if I'm getting like 2 or 2.5 hours of deep sleep, I feel often better than if I had 8 hours of total sleep but only like 1 hour of deep sleep. For me, I'm noticing it's the deep sleep that really matters, and I don't get that much deep sleep if I'm not in bed, lights out, eyes closed for at least 8 full hours. So that, realizing that, learning that, has also made it easier for me to stick to this schedule and not just say, oh, well, I'm already up too late, so I may as well stay up a little bit longer. No, I know that if I can at least get in bed no later than 10, it's still worth it. So getting enough sleep has been a huge game changer. Like, I really cannot describe how much that has shifted things. And so even though these are the boring things as far as self-care is concerned, they are the most important. And so this week, that's what I've been focusing on. It would have been lovely to go out to the bookstore and to go to the coffee shop and to go do a little bit of shopping. It's just not the priority, because if I do it next week or next weekend, that's not the end of the world either. But I'm not gonna have another chance to just rest like this for a whole week until mid-May is my next chance where I'll be able to do this. So I have to take this chance now while I can. Oh, and I didn't set a timer. My sandwich is gonna be extra toasted now. Look at that, so good. So yeah, I'm gonna get this plated up and get sat back down and continue watching this series. The sun's out. Oh, but it's still cloudy. Hold on, let me set these dishes down and then I'll show you. Or rather, I'll show future me, because I know most of you probably don't care about clouds. But one day I will look back on this vlog probably, and I will be very excited to see the clouds. Just pop out onto the balcony for a minute. Very tempted to come sit out here actually. Still have some sun, but also have a lot of clouds. So the sun keeps going in and out a lot. I really need to dust off the chair out here and the table especially. I've kind of dusted off the chair and the cushions not that long ago, but they need to be dusted again. And the chair really needs to be dusted off. So, and I just don't feel like doing that right now. It's been a lovely afternoon. I truly am doing nothing. Like, sit down on the couch again. Like, I tried to do some embroidery. Managed to do a tiny bit of embroidery and then just did not feel like working on that anymore. And I was scrolling on Pinterest a little bit and then didn't even feel like doing that. And I always know that I am super tired and just in desperate need of just like relaxing when I don't even feel like doing little things like that. Like when I don't even feel like doing embroidery or tinkering with something on my laptop or scrolling on Pinterest or playing a game on my iPad, when I literally just want to lay on the couch and do nothing but like one thing, but like read or watch TV. That's how I know I'm really, really tired, because normally I'll be watching something, but I'll also be on my iPad or on my laptop. I'll do embroidery or I'll knit or something. But when I'm really, really tired, I just feel like that's where I'm at. It has just been such a long semester so far. Like I really can't articulate it like precisely enough. Like I feel like I'm making a bigger thing out of it whenever I try to explain it. But all my colleagues and my students are feeling the same way. We're all exhausted. We're all at max capacity. We're all feeling like it should be much later in the semester than it like for as tired as I feel, we should only have 2 or 3 weeks left. We have 7, maybe 8. We have a long time left. I think it's 8. I have a countdown on my phone. I think it's 7 weeks of the semester and then 8 weeks. And then an 8th week of grading. But 61 days until summer break begins. I have a countdown. It might start sooner, but I set the date of when my final grades are due. The day after that is the day summer break begins. I'm gonna really try to be done grading early. And yeah, as tired as I feel, as much as I wanted to go to England this summer, part of me is glad that it was last summer that Mom and I went right after the semester ended. I don't know that I could do that again this year. I don't think I could leave on a big international trip the day after my grades are due. I was already like running on adrenaline for most of that trip. I don't think I'd be able to even do that much this year. I really do think this year I'm gonna have to just completely shut down for like 2 weeks after posting my final grades, which I did that 2 years ago, and I pre-filmed 2 weeks worth of content to go up while I was taking that break. So when it gets closer to May, I'm gonna have to like plan that out and do something similar, because I really need to just I'm gonna need another week or 2, most likely 2 weeks like this one has been so far when the semester ends, to just really recover before I like dive into my summer schedule. But when I was on Pinterest, I saw a pin that said something along the lines of, sometimes rest is the most productive thing you can do. And like, it's not wasteful. It's not like, rest isn't wasteful. Sometimes it is the best thing, the most productive thing you can do. Here comes the sun again. And it's just so true. But I struggle with that. Like, throughout all of grad school, I really could never like fully grasp that. Oh, this fresh air, I can't stop yawning. Like, it's a good yawn. I just feel like I'm getting some good rest, and it's not gonna be enough. Like, I know on Monday I'm not going to be ready to get back to work, but I did think that was something worth talking about, because this is something I've been thinking about this whole week so far. How I had all these things I'd wanted to do, and all these things I'd wanted to either get caught up on or get ahead on, and the idea of like using spring break to get a jump start on editing so that I feel less pressure with book editing throughout the remainder of the semester. And so it felt like spring break had to be super productive, even if it wasn't productive in my full-time job, just being productive on all my like side projects and stuff. But in reality, I've had to be kind of strict with myself that for this week, resting and doing as little as possible really is the best thing and the most productive thing I can do, because I was already starting to feel like halfway through the semester that I'm starting to run on reserve energy. I'm not gonna last the whole semester if I'm continue operating in that way. That like I really need to be factoring in really good restorative rest time every week, like on the weekends, but then during something like spring break, which is the only break I'm going to get this semester. Like in the fall, we get a few 3-day weekends, and then we get 2 days off in October for fall break, and we get a couple days off at the very end of the semester for Thanksgiving break, which tends to be like just enough to get me through that last push of the last 2 weeks. And so the fall semester tends to go a little bit differently because our breaks are shorter but more spread out throughout the semester. Spring break, it's just 1 week in the middle. We got 1 3-day weekend like the week after classes started, so really, really early, and then it's just spring break. And so I have just kind of learned how to pace myself for that schedule. But then if I'm overly ambitious and try to do too much over spring break, like as I'm getting older, I'm just noticing that teaching is getting harder. And 5 years post-pandemic, or post-onset of the pandemic, teaching is definitely getting harder. And so the amount of mental and emotional labor I do as a teacher is just increasing year after year after year since the pandemic started. And so my job is getting harder. Obviously, you know, compared to other jobs, not trying to say my job is the hardest job ever, I'm not, but it is noticeably harder than it was when I first started. And I'm struggling to then adjust to that and compensate for that and adjust my pacing to compensate for that. And so I just feel like it's really been this year, this academic year, that I'm really connecting those dots. And so there's only so much I can do throughout the rest of this academic year, but like over summer break, and like I need to be journaling all of this and making a note for like in August, like things to just think about as the next year starts. But like going into the next academic year, I really need to be finding a different way of pacing myself in my job and a different way of approaching my job and approaching being in the classroom next semester. It's looking like I am going to be in the classroom a bit more than I've been this year. And there are things about my schedule I'm really looking forward to in the fall in terms of the classes I'm teaching, but the physical workload and the mental workload is just getting harder and harder for me to manage with everything else that I'm dealing with in my own life. And so I need to be prioritizing rest a lot more than I currently do, and I need to move away from a work model that I guess served me throughout grad school. Like I finished grad school, I got my PhD, so I guess it worked. But like I need to be moving away from this model of just push yourself and just work hard and keep going even when you're running on empty and just get through to the end of the semester. I need to be moving away from that mindset and towards this idea of rest being the most productive thing I can do. And that the more I allow myself to rest throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, like building in break times in my work day, making sure that I'm taking time off at the weekends, and making sure that each month I'm taking at least one weekend a month where I don't do anything, because with YouTube and writing, I am often working on the weekends. And it's why I also feel like I need to be doing work over something like spring break, because like this is prime time to be working on YouTube and vlogs and editing and filming extra bonus videos and doing more work with my books and getting ahead on those. I don't know, maybe I also need to be scaling back even more on YouTube or something, or scaling back more on my books. I really don't want to do either of those, but I don't know. I just feel like what has kind of been working, but not really, over the last few years in terms of how much I'm managing. Putting my coaching business on pause was definitely the right decision, and I'm not feeling an urge to like restart that anytime soon, but I don't notice that I'm feeling that much better by just making that one change. And it's scary to think that more changes might be necessary, but I'm also starting to feel like maybe I'm just at a point in my life right now with all the health stuff I'm dealing with that continuing to produce so much. And like, I really don't want to change anything as far as YouTube is concerned. I really, really don't. And I do think Independent Hearts can come out. Independent Hearts will come out this year, even if it comes out later than what I'm anticipating. But like, maybe there isn't a new book next year, and maybe Across the Pond 5 comes out sometime early or mid 2027. So like, I don't know. That's all stuff I still need to think about. But today, and I guess in talking about all of this and talking through all of this, anyone who's watched these vlogs for long enough knows that I tend to just think out loud in these vlogs and work through things that I'm struggling with and things that I'm like perhaps not thinking about as much as I should, and coming to conclusions and that then help me, and hopefully along the way it helps you. So I'm just kind of realizing this week, this is the first, I don't think I gave myself this kind of time last spring break. I'd have to go back and look at the vlogs, but I feel like the last few spring breaks have all been the same. I'm decorating for spring, I'm doing a lot with my family, I'm doing a lot of book work and stuff. I know last year I was doing a lot to try to get ahead because I knew, I hadn't told you all at the time, but spring break last year, I knew I was going to London right after the semester ended. So I was doing a lot to kind of prepare and get ahead and be ready and able to do that trip. So I really can't remember the last spring break I let myself just do nothing. Like the fact that it's Wednesday afternoon of spring break and I have not touched any of my current writing projects. I did do a tiny bit of playing around in Photoshop with the cover, but like, I've not done any editing, and I should have been doing some editing, but I don't need to do any editing this week. So anyway, I am feeling like I'm starting to talk in circles, so I'll stop. I'm gonna do some reading. So I want to do some more reading in Shakespeare Sisters. I'm loving this book so far. It's been a great spring break read. It's not super thrilling and gripping. It's a very kind of just slow and interesting history book, and that has been just what I've been eating. So yeah, I'm gonna go make some popcorn, I think, and then sit back down and do some reading. Okay, the sun has set and there was no more rain, but it did stay cloudy for the rest of the day. And it's still a bit cloudy out there right now. I am now going to have a piece of cake. Mom and I made my birthday cake when I was over there earlier this week. So I've got birthday cake to eat here at home, and I am just enjoying the last bit of my super cozy Wednesday of spring break. It's been a really nice day. My eye will not stop twitching. I don't know if it's visible. I can see it in my vision. I can see like my eyelashes twitching, but I don't know if that's going to show up on camera. I was doing it last night. I don't know why. I feel like this is part of why I really need to be like resting more. On the one hand, I just need to rest more. Like, it's important. I need rest. Rest is good. Rest is valuable. Rest should be a priority. And my eye is most likely twitching, or my eyelid is twitching because of stress. That's usually the cause of it. And so that can be emotional stress or physical stress. And I've definitely been under a lot of both. So I'm not surprised that my eyelid has started twitching. I usually will get like, usually it's not the eyelid, usually it's my under eye or along my cheek is what will twitch. So the eyelid here is new. That I haven't had in a long time, if ever. But it's always stress that causes it. And what's weird is like when it's under my eye or my cheeks, I can like press down on that muscle and it will stop the twitch for a bit. But if I can only press so hard on my eyeball, you know, on my eyelid, because then I'm pressing on my eyeball. And so when I press down on it, I can still feel it against my finger. So annoying. But I feel like the other reason why I really need to be focusing on rest is because I don't know how to rest. I really don't. I'm realizing this over this last few months, that I've really been kind of realizing, wow, I do struggle with this. I'm not good at this. I think grad school broke my ability to just, I used to be so lazy. I really did. People probably wouldn't believe that seeing me now, but I used to be so lazy. And then throughout grad school, I couldn't be. And so grad school kind of rewrote something in my brain to where it felt like I had to always be doing something because there was always something that needed to be done. And now there's always something I could be doing in terms of YouTube or writing and publishing, or, you know, with my job, there's always more teaching work, admin work that I could do. But like right now I'm on spring break. I don't need to be doing any teaching work. And when it comes to YouTube and writing, I choose to do those things. So I am allowed to, and that should be one of the perks of my jobs. There aren't a whole lot of perks to my job, but the time off is one of them, and it is the biggest one. So like I should be enjoying it. But I really struggle to just shut off because I feel the guilt of all the things I should be doing. And then I feel like that causes stress. Resting stresses me out. That's bad. Like, that's really bad. Resting should not stress me out. I should be able to just rest and not feel guilty I should be able to just rest and not feel guilty or stressed for not doing things this week. So yeah, it's taken me a while to figure this out, but it is finally starting to sink in. I have a problem with resting and giving myself time, like truly time off. I will always try to fill it with something, and I really need to stop doing that. So I'm going to allow myself to just enjoy the rest of this series tonight. I'm not gonna, I was playing some games and stuff on my iPad, but I'm gonna start minimizing screens. So we're just gonna look at the TV screen and no other screens. And yeah, I'm gonna let myself relax. And tomorrow I will continue trying to relax. I really am now just taking it as a personal challenge to see if I can get through the rest of spring break without doing any book work, without thinking about work and everything that's waiting for me after spring break. Like, that's the other thing that's like hanging over me, is just knowing that I pick up 2 new classes after spring break. And so these next several weeks after spring break are going to be pretty much twice as busy as before spring break, because teaching 2 B session classes, it's doing 16 weeks worth of work or 15 weeks worth of work in 7 weeks. So the grading volume is twice as much for each of those 2 classes as it would normally be in a full semester length class. So it's kind of like teaching 4 classes instead of 2. So, and I've been teaching 3 classes. I don't know if you're following my math, but trust me, it basically equates to doubling my workload. So that is definitely stressing me out, and I need to just not think about it. It will be what it will be, and it's gonna be fine. So I just need to try to relax and enjoy these next few days and not think about book stuff and not worry about YouTube. I'll edit this vlog and I'll edit the next vlog, but like editing is fine. That's not that hard. It's all gonna be okay. But rest is important. Rest is the most important thing. So learn from me. If you have needed a sign to just relax and chill out, here's your sign. Take a break. If you need it, even if you think you don't need it, still take the break, because chances are you do need it, especially if you're a perfectionist, type A, overachiever like I am. I didn't used to be, but then I became one, and now I don't know how to go back to not being one. So anyway, enough rambling. I hope you've enjoyed these rambles today. I hope this vlog has been interesting. I hope it's encouraged you to give yourself a break if you need one. And yeah, if you did enjoy this vlog, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I'd really appreciate both of those things. Say hi in the comments. In the comments, you can leave just whatever emojis you think signal or signify rest and relaxation. Those can be your emoji. That can be your emoji prompt for this vlog. And in the comments, let me know what is your favorite way to really like decompress, de-stress, what is your favorite way to really just decompress, de-stress, really let yourself rest, and unwind and let go of whatever. So what is your favorite way to rest and relax on a day off? Let me know in the comments so we can all get some good ideas down there. On your way down to the comments, you can take a brief pause at the description box where you'll find links to all my books and signing up for my newsletter and all of that good stuff. Enough chatting, back to TV. I will see you all very soon in the next vlog. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye!